How you doing, everybody? We're back. I hope you guys had a blessed and amazing day. Today is Sunday, and I just want to talk about Sabbath and what that is and what that looks like and where in the Bible it speaks on Sabbath. So Sabbath is a day that God set apart for rest, worship, and just focusing our eyes on Him. And in the Bible, God commanded that we work 6 days and set the seventh day apart, being holy. So in Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 and 10, it says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. You are to labor 6 days and do all your work, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God." So God didn't just suggest rest, He commanded it. And Sabbath just reminds us that God is control, not our work, not our stress, and not our hustle. And then Sabbath is also mentioned in the Gospel of Mark. In chapter 2, verse 27, it says, "Then He told them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man made for Sabbath." So what Jesus is teaching here is that Sabbath isn't meant to be like legalistic rules. He's saying it's a gift given from God for our rest, renewal, and our relationship with Him. And then Sabbath's mentioned again. And in chapter 58, verses 13 and 14, it says, "If you call the Sabbath a delight and the holy day of the Lord honorable, then you will delight in the Lord. The mouth of the Lord has spoken." And what he's speaking about here is that Sabbath isn't about just not working. It's about delighting in God. And finally, in Hebrews chapter 4, verses 9 and 10, it says, "Therefore a Sabbath rest remains for God's people. For a person who has entered his rest has rested from his own works, just as God did from his." Remember, in the book of Genesis, God created the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh. So literally creation had a Sabbath. So what makes you think that you don't need a Sabbath? And this just brings us back that the Sabbath ultimately points to Jesus. And that's where we find rest for our souls, is in the Christ Himself. So I just wanted to hop on here, and I just felt this calling and this conviction to share Sabbath, because I know the noise in the world gets super loud and we get super busy with expectations, but you guys have to remember to rest. Again, you guys need a Sabbath day. Keep it holy and keep it for the one above. I hope you guys enjoyed the message today, and as always, get in the Word, keep praying, and stay faithful. God bless.